All right, I'm gonna show you how I made $1,054 with one single trade across two accounts, and let's go. So as always, we are gonna start with a top-down analysis with the previous week's low as my as my drawn liquidity. As you can see, we are still in a high time frame downtrend. The previous week's low was a pretty simple drawn liquidity. Then on the daily time frame, if we check, we can also see that it was pretty obvious that we're going to take this one after we swept the high actually today. Then on the 4-hour time frame, we had a 4-hour fair value gap right here. And then on the 1-hour time frame within the 4-hour fair value gap, we also had this 1-hour fair value gap. My plan was, as the market would open, to go into the 4-hour gap and then down into the previous week's low. But that didn't happen. As the market opened, it straight up dumped. So I couldn't take any trade there, any normal trade within the New York session. So I waited for the typical 10 a.m. setup. 10 a.m. actually swept the high time frame 0.79 level. If we have this low up into this high right here, we can see if we zoom in that it swept this one. I hesitated for a moment and I was thinking, honestly, even if it sounds stupid, I was thinking to long it, even though we didn't hit the drawn liquidity. But thank God I didn't. So let's delete that one. And let's get into the 1 minute time frame, because that's where we actually took the trade. I already drew it out. If we look into the 10 a.m. high, into the last low that it had, before it went up again, we can see that it had that 10 a.m. was within OTE. It was pretty much right before 0.79. So what I did was I shorted right at 10 a.m., put a limit right there with my stop actually at the top of the range, even though it was quite a big stop loss. I initially put it right there, and then I waited for an entry trigger to re-enter with even more position size to then tighten my stop loss. But what happened is it rejected perfectly actually, so I then just put my stop loss right there after the rejection. Then when we swept this low right here, I just put it to break even, and then I let it right into the previous week's low. Then to check again, boom, boom, go to trade details, and that was the trade. We can see here 10 a.m. was there. Let's draw it out in yellow. Then from 10 a.m. we can draw the fib right here. Oh, right here into this, and we can see that it's an OTE. I shorted it here, but my copy trader took a bit of time until I got filled right there. And that's pretty much it. Then I exited the position here. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. You can DM me, text me, whatever, and see you tomorrow. Bye.